Okay, Abby Fichtner, Developer Evangelist for Startups. We are here at Nerd today with Marsh Sutherland, who is President and Co-Founder of SocialGrow, one of the awesome startups that we have here in Boston. He is also extremely active in our startup community. He actually runs our Boston BizSpark meetups, and he is a Microsoft solution advocate. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Abby. It's great to be here.
So tell me a little bit about SocialGrow.
So SocialGrow is an application that makes it easier for users to grow their social networks. We do that by logging into our users' email accounts, extracting the email address and display header, and then giving our users the opportunity to then invite the people that emailed them to connect on the different networks that they're choosing.
Sounds useful. And so you have a whole team, right? This is just you.
Yep. Yeah, it's myself and Charbel Corey, who is he's our CTO. He's a former director of engineering with Siebel, and he's a rock star. We also we had Gary Chin on today as our chief architect. He's got a lot of experience, and he's also a Silverlight instructor locally. And our marketing superstar is Ken Herron, who's our CMO. He's a former CMO of one of the most popular online dating social networks in the world, and now he's named the #2 CMO on Twitter by Systemic Marketing Worldwide with over 21,000 followers.
So you've got quite a team there.
Yep, absolutely.
So one thing that always interests me about startups is learning about how you came up with the idea and how that idea sort of evolved over time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also run a recruiting business. I have a recruiting business called Walden Recruiting, and we were different than other agencies. Instead of just putting up a job on Monster and waiting for people to apply, I actively use my networks. Every candidate that sends me an email that I talk to and I like them, I want to build my LinkedIn network with those people, invite them to connect, because then it allows me to find other great people that they're connected to.
Sure.
But it's a really mundane process to do that. So literally what I was doing was I was double clicking on the email address in Outlook, and then I was highlighting the email, clicking Control-C to copy it, and going to LinkedIn trying to find the person, type a nice note, and I click send invitation.
Yeah, I'm already giving up.
Right. And then I'd also ideally like to invite them to join my Facebook fan page. I like to have them follow me on Twitter to get job posting updates.
Sure.
It's just too much. So we came up with the idea of SocialGrow.
Excellent. So what motivated you to actually make this a reality and start a company around it?
One thing I've always done is I like to help people. We want to help transform people's lives. There's just so many things you can gain in life by connecting with other people that you don't know yet. You never know. Maybe a new love after a divorce, a nasty divorce, maybe a new job, after a year of unemployment when your hopes are bleak. But essentially we're looking to help people out, and SocialGrow is a great way to help build connection.
And this is now an alpha, right? People are actually using it.
Yes, we have 137 alpha users.
Excellent.
And they're actively running their networks for their application.
Very cool. And as I understand, this actually works on a multitude of different types of emails.
Correct. Yes. So we are not, we're not tied to Outlook. We're not tied to any particular platform. And how we do that is we run it strictly as a web service. We bypass the actual email client. We just go right to the web server, the email service, to get the email addresses and display names, and then we use it as we do a web service then to allow people to connect. So we work on Windows, on Macintosh, on Linux machines. We work with anybody who uses Outlook or Gmail or Yahoo or AOL or whatever email clients that they use.
That's excellent, and yet this is all run on Microsoft technology,
yes,
is that correct?
All the way.
So tell us about your stack.
C#, ASP.NET, and we've got Windows Server 2008. And Gary Chin is actually a Silverlight instructor here in Boston.
So you're going to start doing some Silverlight?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're going to do some whiz-bang stuff with that.
And you have all of this software. You're actually a BizSpark member, of course,
yes,
because you run the BizSpark meetups for us.
Absolutely.
So how has BizSpark been for you?
BizSpark has been absolutely phenomenal. One of the we evaluated LAMP, Python, Ruby, Java, and Microsoft. I was always leaning towards Microsoft because Charbel is very familiar with the stack. But we compared open source and all that. But when it came down to it, Microsoft was just making it a no-brainer. I mean, it's free software, it's scalable, it's dependable software. The marketing punch we've had has been amazing.
That's excellent.
And the support as well. So we were invited to we did the Windows 7 Incubation Week, which was phenomenal. I got to meet a lot of great people at that event. That's how I learned about I learned more about BizSpark. Got to meet people within Microsoft. We were named a BizSpark Startup of the Day worldwide.
That's right.
And we had that happen during the PDC09 conference. which garnered a lot of press. Microsoft was nice enough to actually pay Wagner Worldwide to do a press release for us during PDC09 announcing opening up for signups for our alpha product.
Oh, that's great.
You know, and just having the BizSpark logo and saying that we're a Microsoft BizSpark startup gives us so much credibility. And the PR we get out of it is absolutely just never ending.
That's great. So clearly the startup to watch for. And let me just finish up with one more question. I know that you work with tons of startups.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for startups out there?
Yeah, the two things you should really definitely work on is, essentially finding the very best, brightest people who are passionate, who get your vision, and really want to do the startup thing. It takes a lot of work. It's unbelievable how much time it takes. It can be a very complex process. But you also, in order to make it easier, you need to have resources. And Microsoft is a great resource. But even outside of Microsoft, it's also great to build your network with other startup founders and lawyers and vendors and accountants and things of that nature. So I think that building your network and building those resources, makes it much easier for you when you have a question or you need a referral to someone who's going to do a good job for you. It's your network that really helps, that really counts.
So it helps if you have a tool like SocialGrow.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Well, thank you.
And keep your eye out for SocialGrow.
SocialGrow.